The large metal ship appeared in the sky without warning. It hung above Earth like a silver cloud. People around the world stopped and looked up. Some ran in fear, others watched with wonder. Dr. Alan Morgan sat in his NASA office, staring at his computer screen. The readings made no sense. The ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. It gave off energy patterns he had never seen before. "Sir, we're getting a signal," said his assistant, running into the room. "They want to talk to us." The message came through in perfect English. "We come in peace. We wish to meet the leaders of your world." Within hours, world leaders gathered. They decided to send a team to meet the aliens. Commander Olivia Wells would lead the group. Dr. Gregory Patel, who knew many languages, and Dr. Lisa Howard, who studied living things, would go with her. The aliens called themselves the Zephyri. They looked almost like tall, thin humans with blue-gray skin and large eyes. They moved with smooth, flowing steps. When the human team entered the alien ship, the Zephyri leader, Thelx, greeted them with a slight bow. "Welcome, young ones," Thelx said. "We are pleased to find thinking life on this small planet. We did not expect it." Commander Wells stood tall. "We are glad to meet you too. We have wondered for years if we were alone in space." The Zephyri looked at each other with what seemed like surprise. "You are far from alone," Thelx said. "There are 17 advanced groups of beings in our galactic concordat. We rule known space together." As they talked, Commander Wells noticed how the aliens treated them. They spoke slowly, used simple words, and explained basic ideas. It was like adults talking to children. "We invite Earth to join our group," Thelx said. "We can teach you many things." But what seemed most strange was how the aliens kept asking about old buildings and objects on Earth. They asked about the pyramids, old stone circles, and deep caves with wall paintings. "We seek signs of the progenitors," Thelx explained, "the first beings who spread life through the stars long ago. They vanished billions of years past. We find their marks on many worlds." Dr. Howard whispered to Commander Wells, "Why are they so interested in our old things? What are they really looking for?" As the meeting ended, Thelx made an offer. "We would like to send teams to study your ancient places. In return, we will share some of our knowledge." Commander Wells nodded. "I will take your offer to our leaders." As the human team left the ship, Dr. Patel said what they all felt. "They're hiding something. Did you see how they reacted when we showed them the map of humans spread across Earth? They seemed worried." "Yes," Commander Wells said. "This is just the beginning. We need to find out what they're really after." 6 months had passed since the aliens came to Earth. Now the Zephyri and 3 other alien groups had small bases around the world. The world leaders gave them permission to visit old ruins and dig sites, but with limits. Dr. Paul Rodriguez led the team that worked with the aliens at these old places. He watched them closely as they dug in the dirt and scanned stones with their tools. More and more, he felt something was wrong. "They say they're just learning about our past," he told his team. "But they keep going to the same kinds of places, the ones we can't explain well." The aliens spent weeks at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, where huge stone pillars stood in circles. The stones were carved with strange animals. Scientists knew humans made them about 12,000 years ago, but no one knew how or why. The aliens also went to underwater ruins near Cuba and Japan. They looked at cave paintings in France and odd stone lines in Peru. At each place, they took samples of dirt, stone, and any old human bones they could find. Navy Lieutenant Kate Sullivan was sent to watch the aliens without them knowing. She followed them from site to site, taking notes on what they did. One day at a dig in Egypt, she saw a Zephyri scientist take a drill and pull up a deep core of Earth. The alien quickly put something from the sample into a small box. This wasn't on the list of things they said they would do. Lieutenant Sullivan stepped out from her hiding spot. "Excuse me, but I need to see what you just collected," she said firmly. The alien looked surprised but then smiled. "This is just dirt for testing. It's standard work when we look at young worlds." "Young worlds?" Lieutenant Sullivan asked. "Earth is over 4 billion years old." "Yes, but your people are new," the alien said. "You've barely begun to grow." Later that week, Dr. Rodriguez found something odd. He got a look at the aliens' research notes. They were taking a lot of human DNA samples from old bones. When he asked why, the blue-skinned Zephyri scientist blinked slowly. "We study all life forms. Your DNA has some unusual patterns." "What kind of patterns?" Dr. Rodriguez asked. "Just differences from what we expected," the alien said, turning away. "Nothing important." That night, Dr. Rodriguez called Lieutenant Sullivan. "They're hiding something big," he said. "It's not just the ruins they care about. It's us. It's something in our bodies, in our DNA. And whatever it is, it scares them." "I think you're right," she said. "We need to find out what they're really looking for before they find it first." Dr. Samantha Collins worked late in her small office. Papers with strange marks covered her desk. For weeks, she had studied the writing of the Zephyri and other aliens. Tonight, she saw something that made her sit up straight. "That can't be right," she said to herself. She pulled out photos of cave paintings from France, Spain, and Africa. She put them next to the alien writing samples. Many symbols looked almost the same. She picked up her phone and called Jack Martinez, an engineer who worked with alien technology. "Jack, I found something weird. Can you come to my office?" 20 minutes later, Jack looked at her papers with wide eyes. "How is this possible?" he asked. "These cave paintings are 30,000 years old. The aliens come from stars that are hundreds of light years away." "Exactly," Samantha said. "There shouldn't be any connection." Jack pulled out his tablet. "I found something strange too. Look at this." He showed her a chart of dates used by the alien Concordat. "I figured out how their time system works," he said. "According to their records, advanced life in our galaxy only goes back about 500,000 years. Samantha frowned. "But that can't be right. Humans have been evolving for millions of years." "I know," Jack said. "Something doesn't add up." The next day, they met with Dr. Rodriguez and Lieutenant Sullivan in a secure room. They shared what they had found. "The aliens told us they're looking for signs of progenitors who lived billions of years ago," Lieutenant Sullivan said. "But now you're saying their own records only go back 500,000 years. And why do their symbols match our oldest human cave art?" Samantha added. Dr. Rodriguez spread out his own notes. "They're focused on our DNA too. They keep taking samples from ancient human remains." Jack tapped on his tablet. "What if they're not just studying us? What if they're searching for something?" "Something they expect to find here on Earth," Samantha agreed. Lieutenant Sullivan stood up. "We need to get access to their research. The full research, not just what they're showing us." "I have an idea," Dr. Rodriguez said. "Dr. Lisa Howard has been working closely with their biology team. She might be able to see what they're doing with those DNA samples. And I can try to break into their data systems." Jack said. "Their security is good, but I've been studying it for months." Samantha gathered her papers. "We need to work fast. Did you notice how the number of alien ships in orbit has doubled in the last 2 weeks? Whatever they're looking for, I think they're getting close to finding it." Or, Lieutenant Sullivan said quietly, "They're already found it, and now they're deciding what to do about it." The four looked at each other, the same worry on all their faces. Earth had welcomed the aliens as friends, but what if they weren't friends after all? 1 year had passed since the aliens first came to Earth. Dr. Lisa Howard had worked closely with the alien scientists all this time. They let her into their labs where they studied life from Earth. She watched, she learned, but she also looked for secrets. Today, she found one. When the alien scientists went to lunch, she stayed behind. She went to their special computer and typed in the password she had seen them use. The screen lit up with pictures of DNA, human DNA. "What are they looking for?" she whispered. She clicked through files until she found a report. It showed human DNA next to alien DNA from all 17 Concordat species. Each alien DNA was simple and neat, but human DNA had extra parts, complex sections that none of the others had. Even more strange, these special parts of human DNA were very, very old. According to the data, these patterns had existed for millions of years, unchanged. Dr. Howard quickly copied the files to her small drive. Just as she finished, a Zephyri scientist named Nelm returned to the lab. "What are you doing at that station, Dr. Howard?" Nelm asked. "Just looking at the comparative biology studies," she said. "I'm amazed at how different human DNA is from the other species." Nelm blinked rapidly, a sign of Zephyri stress. "Yes, your species has some unusual features. Why is that?" Dr. Howard asked. "What makes us different?" Nelm turned away, but then said something she would never forget. "Your genetic structure contains markers we've only seen in progenitor artifacts." Meanwhile, Commander Wells was in a meeting with alien leaders. Now a top diplomat for Earth, she saw how the aliens acted nervous around her. Some alien groups wanted more access to dig sites and DNA samples. Others seemed afraid. "We should limit their research," a green-skinned alien whispered to another, "if they connect the patterns." Commander Wells pretended not to hear. At the same time, Dr. Patel made a big discovery. He had been studying a stone tablet the aliens found underwater near Japan. The aliens thought the marks on it were a lost human language. But Dr. Patel recognized something else. He ran to find Jack Martinez. "Jack, look at this," he said, pointing to the tablet. "These aren't words. They're math formulas." Jack's eyes grew wide. "These are the same formulas the Zephyri use for space travel. This tablet is at least 20,000 years old." "I know," Dr. Patel said, "which means either the Zephyri visited Earth in the past, or humans already knew these formulas long ago," Jack finished. "But how is that possible?" The pieces were starting to come together, and the picture they formed was something no one expected. The team met in a secure underground room. Dr. Howard showed them the DNA files. Dr. Patel brought the ancient tablet. Jack Martinez set up computers to keep their meeting secret from alien monitoring. "Let me make sure I understand," Commander Wells said. "Human DNA has parts that match what the aliens call progenitor technology." "Yes," Dr. Howard nodded. "And these DNA sections are millions of years old." Lieutenant Sullivan leaned forward. "And this tablet has space travel math that matches what the Zephyri use today." "Exactly," Dr. Patel said. "But humans made this tablet at least 20,000 years ago." Dr. Morgan, who had been quiet until now, stood up. He was the NASA scientist who first talked with the aliens when they arrived. "I think I know what's happening," he said. "We've been thinking about this all wrong. We assumed the progenitors were some other species that came to Earth long ago." He pointed to the DNA charts and the tablet. "But what if the progenitors were humans? What if we are the ancient species that the Concordat has been searching for?" The room went silent. The idea seemed impossible, yet it fit all the facts. "Think about it," Dr. Morgan continued. "Human evolution goes back millions of years, but the aliens say advanced life in the galaxy only goes back 500,000 years. And they keep finding our ancient technology that matches their modern tech." Dr. Rodriguez nodded slowly. "So millions of years ago, humans became advanced, went to space, and spread life to other planets." Jack finished. "We seeded the galaxy. But then something happened," Dr. Howard said. "Some disaster that destroyed our advanced civilization. On Earth, we had to start over from nearly nothing," Dr. Morgan said. "But the life we had spread to other worlds kept developing." Commander Wells stood up. "So the Zephyri and the other aliens are our children, in a way," Dr. Patel said. "Species we helped create millions of years ago." "And they don't know it," Lieutenant Sullivan added. They think the progenitors were some other species that disappeared. Dr. Collins, who had been studying the alien writing systems, spoke up. No, some of them suspect the truth. That's why they're so interested in our DNA and our ancient sites. They're looking for proof. And they're afraid of what it means, Commander Wells said. If humans are the progenitors, then we're not the newcomers they thought we were. Dr. Morgan nodded. We're the original ancient species, and we're waking up. The group looked at each other as the truth sank in. Humans weren't just one young species joining a galactic community. Humans were the beginning of it all. We need to talk to the Concordat, Commander Wells said. It's time they learned the truth. Lieutenant Sullivan did not trust the aliens. While the others prepared to tell the Concordat about their discovery, she gathered a small team of trusted soldiers. They began watching the aliens more closely. What they found was troubling. At night, alien ships moved silently between their bases. Strange equipment was set up around major cities. The aliens were preparing for something. One night, Lieutenant Sullivan and her team broke into a HFY storage building. Inside, they found weapons, many weapons. They're not just studying us, she told her team. They're getting ready for a fight. Her team copied files from the alien computers. The next day, they showed what they found to Commander Wells. They call it containment protocols. Lieutenant Sullivan explained. If humans start to remember too much of our past, or if we find certain old technologies, the Concordat plans to stop us. Stop us how? Commander Wells asked. Any way they can, Lieutenant Sullivan said. Some want to put limits on our technology. Others think they should control our leaders. And some, she paused, some think they should remove humans completely. Commander Wells shook her head in disbelief. She called for an emergency meeting with Ambassador Thelks. We know the truth, she said when they met. Humans are the progenitors, and we know about your plans to contain us. Thelks's blue skin turned pale. You don't understand the danger. Explain it to me, Commander Wells demanded. History shows that your kind, when given power, use it for dominance. Thelks said. The galaxy has known peace for thousands of years. We cannot risk awakening the conquering instincts of the progenitors. So you've been hiding our history from us, Commander Wells said. For centuries, we have found and controlled progenitor technology throughout the galaxy, Thelks admitted. The most powerful pieces we keep safe. The rest we disable. We had to. The last time humans had such power, they nearly destroyed everything. Meanwhile, Dr. Collins made another discovery. She found that when certain patterns in human DNA were activated, they could control old technology that the aliens kept secret. It's like a key, she told Dr. Morgan. Our DNA can unlock devices that won't work for the aliens. That's why they're so worried, Dr. Morgan said. They've been finding our old tools across the galaxy, but they can't fully use them. Only we can. Back at her meeting, Commander Wells faced Thelks with new understanding. You're not just afraid we'll remember our past, she said. You're afraid we'll take back the power you've been using all this time. Thelks looked at her with large, sad eyes. If you knew what your ancestors did with that power, you would be afraid too. Strange things began to happen around the world. At the pyramids in Egypt, the stones started to glow with a soft blue light. In the deep caves of France, old paintings shimmered and moved. Under the ice of Antarctica, something large and metal began to hum. The aliens noticed too. Their ships flew quickly from site to site. They seemed worried, even scared. Dr. Howard and Jack Martinez traveled to an underwater site near Japan. The ruins there were lighting up. When Dr. Howard touched one of the stones, it glowed brighter. It's responding to you, Jack said, to your DNA. More and more ancient sites around Earth were waking up. The places that people had wondered about for centuries. Stonehenge, the Nazca Lines, the massive stone heads of Easter Island, all began to show signs of technology no one knew they had. The aliens tried to shut them down, but nothing they did worked. The old machines responded only to humans. Lieutenant Sullivan reported that alien ships were gathering in orbit. Some alien groups wanted to attack Earth before more ancient technology woke up. Dr. Howard and Jack traveled to Antarctica, where the largest signal was coming from. Deep under the ice, they found a door. It was made of a metal no one had seen before. When Dr. Howard placed her hand on it, it opened. Inside was a vast room filled with glowing screens and strange devices. As they walked in, the machines came to life. "Welcome, descendants," said a voice in perfect English. "Access granted." The screens showed images from long ago. They saw humans in strange clothes building huge ships that flew between stars. They saw the first humans landing on far planets, bringing plants and animals from Earth. They saw humans changing the air and water of dead worlds to make them like Earth. And then they saw the war. Humans fighting humans among the stars. Weapons that could destroy whole planets. In the end, Earth itself was hit. Most humans died. The rest lost all their technology and knowledge. They had to start again as simple cave people. "It's all here," Jack whispered. "Our whole history." The final screen showed a message. "To those who find this record, we were not ready for the power we held. We spread too fast, wanted too much. Remember our mistakes." Dr. Howard sent the images to Commander Wells and the others. Now they had proof. Humans were indeed the progenitors, the ancient ones who had spread life through the galaxy. "The aliens need to see this," Dr. Howard said. "They need to understand." But outside, alien ships were moving into attack position around Earth. They had realized what was happening, and some were determined to stop it before humans reclaimed their full power. World leaders met in an emergency session. Alien ships filled the sky. Some aliens wanted peace, but others prepared for war. "We need to decide now," said the President of the United States. "Do we claim our place as the first space travelers? Do we take back our old power?" Dr. Morgan stood before them with the evidence from Antarctica. "We should be careful," he said. "Our ancestors had amazing technology, but they destroyed themselves with it. Their last message was a warning." Commander Wells agreed. "We don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past." While they talked, Dr. Collins and Dr. Howard made a big discovery in the Antarctic base. The records showed that the ancient humans had built a network of defense systems throughout the galaxy. These systems were still there, sleeping, waiting for human DNA to wake them. "We can use this," Dr. Collins said. "Not to attack, but to show the aliens we can protect ourselves." In space, some alien ships moved closer to Earth. They prepared weapons. Others tried to stop them, leading to arguments in the Concordat. Commander Wells spoke to the gathered leaders of Earth. "I propose we do something different than our ancestors. Instead of using our power to control, we use it to connect." The leaders agreed to her plan. Commander Wells traveled to the main Concordat ship to speak with all the alien leaders. "We know the truth now," she told them. "Humans are the progenitors you've been searching for. We built the first ships, spread life through the stars, and then destroyed ourselves in war." The aliens murmured among themselves. Some looked afraid. "But we are not claiming ownership of the galaxy," Commander Wells continued. "We don't want an empire. We want a true partnership." Ambassador Thelks spoke up. "Why should we believe you? Your kind nearly destroyed everything before." "Because we learned from our mistakes," Commander Wells said. She showed them the warning message from their ancestors. At that moment, Dr. Collins activated part of the ancient defense network. All around the galaxy, long hidden satellites and stations lit up. The aliens watched in shock as systems they never knew existed came to life. "We could use this power to fight," Commander Wells said. "But instead, we offer to share what we learn. We propose a new Concordat, where all species work together as equals." Some aliens were still afraid, but others saw the wisdom in her words. After long talks, most agreed to the new plan. The final agreement was simple. Humans would slowly recover their ancient knowledge, but would share it with all. The Concordat would become a true partnership of equals. Dr. Rodriguez, studying more of the ancient records, found one last message that summed it all up. To our descendants, we rose too quickly, reached too far, forgot our humanity. Learn from our failures. The stars are not to be conquered, but shared.